Welcome to my channel, the place where we uncover the deepest psychological mysteries to help you understand yourself and those around you better. Today we're pulling back the curtain on a truth that many people refuse to face. What do narcissists really want from you? And let me tell you up front, it's not what you think. Have you ever felt trapped in a relationship where you constantly have to sacrifice, always trying to please someone, yet all you get in return is manipulation, control, or even outright disdain? If so, you might have found yourself entangled with a narcissist. Many people believe that narcissists simply crave admiration and attention, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. The truth is far darker and far more dangerous. What they truly want from you isn't just praise, it's absolute power, unconditional submission, and a never-ending supply of emotional fuel. They want to control your mind, manipulate your emotions, and turn you into a tool that feeds their empty ego. So, why do they behave this way? And more importantly, how can you break free from their grip before it's too late? In this video, we're diving deep into the psychology of narcissists, exposing the tactics they use to manipulate you, and most importantly, giving you the tools to reclaim your power and take back control of your life. If you've ever felt used, manipulated, or trapped in a toxic relationship, this is a video you cannot afford to miss. Get ready, because what you're about to learn could change the way you see the people around you forever. One, control and power. Imagine someone who is deeply insecure, constantly fearing that the world will turn against them. Inside, they are hollow, restless, and terrified of being powerless. And to ease that anxiety, they crave one thing above all else: control. For narcissists, power isn't just a desire, it's a necessity. Control is not just a tool for them, it's their addiction. They need to manipulate every aspect of your life, your emotions, your actions, even your thoughts. They want to turn you into a puppet, pulling the strings without you even realizing it. Psychologist Otto Kernberg once stated, "The obsession with power and control is one of the defining traits of narcissistic personality disorder. This obsession stems from a profound sense of insecurity and fragile self-worth, a truth they never want you to see." Narcissists don't rely on brute force. They control you through psychological manipulation. They may appear as a caring friend, always looking out for you and offering advice. But beneath that helpful facade is a subtle trap, designed to make you dependent on them and slowly strip away your ability to make decisions for yourself. When kindness doesn't work, they turn to criticism and belittling. They chip away at your confidence, making you feel worthless, incompetent, and ultimately easier to control. You start doubting yourself, believing that they are the only person who truly understands what's best for you. Some narcissists use their charm as a weapon, pulling you into a toxic relationship where you feel lucky to have them. You become desperate to keep them in your life, even if that means sacrificing your freedom and independence. For narcissists, control is not just a means to an end, it is the end goal. They want you to worship them, obey them, and revolve your world around them. When they achieve this, they feel invincible, masking the deep insecurity they're trying to escape. As narcissism expert Sam Vaknin explains, narcissists treat power like a drug. The more they have, the stronger and more confident they feel. This explains why many narcissists seek positions of influence, becoming leaders, celebrities, or figures of authority. If you stay in a narcissist's grip for too long, you will begin to lose yourself. Anxiety, depression, and self-doubt will take over. Their psychological abuse can have lasting emotional and even physical consequences. If you recognize these control tactics in your life, it's time to wake up. Don't let them manipulate you. Take back control of your life. In the next section, we'll dive even deeper into the dark psychology of narcissists. Stay tuned. What you're about to learn could change everything. 2. Submission and admiration. Imagine a person with such fragile self-esteem that they cannot exist without the worship of others. They may project confidence, power, even arrogance, but inside, they are empty and terrified. For them, admiration is not just a fleeting pleasure. It is a matter of survival. A narcissist craves submission and admiration the way an addict craves a drug. They need praise and awestruck gazes to maintain the illusion that they are special, superior to everyone else. Without this constant adoration, they spiral into inner panic, feeling worthless and utterly lost. Psychologist Heinz Kohut once said, "External admiration is the medicine that soothes the deep wounds of a narcissist." This means that their need for praise is not a choice, it is an obsession. They cannot find value within themselves, so they drain the energy of those around them to fill that void. And you are their most important supply. A narcissist does not just want to be liked, they want to be worshipped. They need you to see them as an extraordinary, admirable, infallible being. You must praise them, make them feel powerful, and place them on an untouchable pedestal. To achieve this, they will not hesitate to boast, exaggerate, or even distort reality to enhance their image. They may tell grand tales of victories they never achieved, inflate minor successes, or craft a tragic backstory to make you believe they are extraordinary. But if admiration does not come naturally, they will extract it from you. They will manipulate your emotions, make you feel guilty if you do not praise them enough, or even threaten to leave you if you stop admiring them. They turn your gratitude and appreciation into an obligation. Remember, narcissists are master performers. They know how to play any role necessary to earn your admiration. They can be the ideal companion, the perfect lover, or even a self-sacrificing savior who is always there for you. But it is all an act, and whether you realize it or not, you have become their most devoted audience. You get caught up in the narrative they create, believing they are truly special and worthy of admiration. Then one day, you start to see things differently. You begin to question, am I truly valued in this relationship, or am I just feeding their ego? Spending your life nurturing a narcissist's self-esteem can make you lose yourself. You start living by their standards, pushing aside your own desires. Your dreams, ambitions, and values fade, replaced by a reality where you are merely a supporting character in their world. You start to feel like you have no autonomy, that your thoughts and emotions no longer matter. They want you to believe that your worth exists only in their shadow. But what is the truth? You deserve so much more. If you find yourself trapped in a relationship where you constantly have to prove your devotion, it is time to reclaim control. Recognize the manipulation. If someone constantly demands admiration and extracts praise from you, be cautious. Set boundaries. No one has the right to demand constant worship. Admiration should come from the heart, not from pressure. But rediscover your own worth. You do not need to glorify someone else to feel valuable. You can shine in your own way. A narcissist will never stop demanding submission, but you can choose not to play their game. You were not born to be someone else's background character. You have the right to live your own life. Three, emotional supply. Narcissists don't just crave admiration and submission, they crave your emotions. It doesn't matter if those emotions are positive or negative, as long as they come from you and revolve around them. They need it, like a drug to keep them functioning, a source of energy that temporarily fills their inner emptiness. You are not just a person in their life, you are their fuel. They extract your energy, draining your emotions because they can't generate anything within themselves. They lack emotional regulation, cannot experience true joy, and refuse to sit with their own pain. So instead, they borrow emotions from those around them, especially from people who care, invest, and feel deeply. They don't just feed off your happiness, admiration, or love. They thrive on your anger, pain, jealousy, and insecurity. They need to see you react, to pull you into the emotional storm they create, because as long as you're reacting, they feel powerful, in control, and alive. If you love them, they win. If you hate them, they still win. One way or another, they remain the center of your world. According to narcissism expert Sam Vaknin, narcissists survive on the emotional energy of others. They don't care what kind of emotion it is as long as they can provoke it. To them, other people's emotions are like oxygen. If you stop reacting, they feel like they are suffocating. That's why they never let you feel stable. One day they lift you up, making you feel like the most special person in the world. The next, they tear you down with indifference, coldness, or even contempt. This emotional roller coaster is not accidental. It's a strategy. When you're confused, you're easier to control. When you're in pain, you seek their validation even more, and when you're desperate, they become the only one who can rescue you. They are emotional addicts, much like drug addicts. A little is never enough. If today they make you cry, tomorrow they'll push you to the edge. If today you're angry, tomorrow they'll make you furious. If today you forgive them, tomorrow they'll test how much further they can go. They always want more, until you are completely drained. You start feeling exhausted, empty, and lost. You lose yourself in the relationship, no longer knowing which emotions are truly yours and which ones they've imposed on you. You stop trusting happiness because you know it can be ripped away at any moment. You don't fight sadness because you've become too familiar with it. You slowly fade into a version of yourself that only exists to react the way they want you to. If you realize you're trapped in a relationship where your emotions are being manipulated, controlled, and extracted daily, don't let yourself sink further. You are not responsible for sustaining anyone else emotionally. Walk away from this cycle before you lose the strength to do so. You were not born to be someone else's fuel. You have the right to protect your emotions, to reclaim your energy, and to live a life that you choose. Four, attention and focus. A narcissist cannot stand the thought of you shifting your attention away from them. For them, indifference is the worst thing that could happen, because when you stop looking at them, listening to them, or reacting to them, they feel like they don't exist. They don't just want your admiration, submission, or emotional support. They want your absolute focus. Every glance, every thought, every moment of your day should revolve around them. If you don't place them at the center of your world, they will find ways to pull your attention back, even if that means creating conflict, drama, or hurting you. Their self-esteem is so fragile that it cannot sustain itself without external validation. According to psychologist Sam Vaknin, narcissists see attention as currency. They use it to buy a sense of importance and power. They cannot tolerate being ordinary. They must be the focal point, and without attention, they feel empty, invisible, and out of control. Narcissists are masters of manipulating attention. When they want to be in the spotlight, they will do whatever it takes to ensure you cannot look away. They may boast about their achievements, talents, or social status, exaggerating even the smallest victories to keep you in awe. When this strategy fails, they may manufacture a tragedy, sharing stories of pain, injustice, or past hardships to cast themselves as the victim and evoke your sympathy. But if neither of these methods secures enough attention, they will create drama. They may provoke you, anger you, or even hurt you, just to ensure you react to them. To a narcissist, a negative reaction is still better than no reaction at all, because whether you love them, hate them, pity them, or get angry, you are still focused on them. They don't just want your attention, they want you to be completely consumed by them. They want you to look up to them with admiration, listen with reverence, and respond exactly how they expect. And if you don't, they will change tactics, sulking, blaming, making you feel guilty, or even threatening to leave, all in an effort to pull you back into their orbit. A narcissist jealousy is not ordinary jealousy. It is an obsession with ownership. They cannot bear the thought of you giving your attention to anyone or anything other than them. If you spend time with family, friends, colleagues, or even on personal hobbies, they will see it as a betrayal. In their mind, they are the only ones worthy of your attention. If they feel abandoned, they may react in extreme ways, creating conflict, criticizing you, manipulating your emotions, or making you feel guilty for neglecting them. They are not jealous because they care about you. They are jealous because they are losing control. When you start focusing on other things, you might realize that you don't need them as much as they want you to believe. Constantly catering to a narcissist's endless need for attention can leave you mentally and physically exhausted. You may find yourself with no space for your own thoughts, unable to focus on work, hobbies, or other important relationships. You might feel guilty for taking time for yourself, constantly questioning if you are doing something wrong by not prioritizing them. Eventually, you may realize that you've sacrificed too much time and energy, trapped in their cycle, while neglecting the things that truly matter in your life. But remember this: you have control over your own attention. You are not obligated to put them above everything else. You were not born to be a permanent audience member in their story. If you find yourself in a relationship where your attention is controlled, manipulated, and monopolized, take a stand and reclaim your focus. You deserve a balanced life, one where you can dedicate your time and energy to what truly matters to you, not just what they demand you to care about. 5. Empathy and forgiveness. Narcissists don't truly lack empathy. They lack the ability for genuine empathy. They know how to fake compassion, how to appear understanding and caring, but it's all just a manipulation tactic. Behind the nods, the comforting words, and even the seemingly sincere tears, they don't actually feel your pain. They don't empathize because they care. They empathize because they need you to keep trusting them, keep forgiving them, and stay trapped in their control. Why are they like this? Narcissists are so obsessed with themselves that there is no room for anyone else's emotions. Their self-esteem is so fragile, so easily shattered, that all their focus is on protecting their own ego. They cannot put themselves in someone else's shoes because the only thing they truly care about is how they can benefit from the situation. According to psychologist Heinz Kohut, a lack of empathy is one of the core traits of narcissistic personality. It stems from deep emotional wounds in their past, making them incapable of truly connecting with others' feelings. But the real danger isn't just their lack of empathy, it's how they weaponize your compassion against you. Narcissists know that the people who love them tend to be forgiving and understanding, and they exploit that, using your kindness as the perfect tool for manipulation. They may hurt you over and over again, but the moment they sense that you're truly upset or considering leaving, they switch to apology mode. They might cry, act remorseful, beg for your forgiveness, promise to change, and even say that you're the only person in the world who truly understands them. And you, with your kind heart and your hope for a better relationship, might believe them again. You think, maybe this time will be different. Maybe they really mean it. Maybe they just need one more chance. But the truth? They never change. They will repeat the same toxic behaviors, continue to hurt you, and keep testing how much you're willing to endure. Your forgiveness doesn't make them better, it makes them bolder. They don't feel guilty. They don't feel the need to change. They only see an easy escape, a person willing to bear the pain for them, someone who will always forgive them, no matter what they do. The more you forgive, the deeper they sink into their own toxic behaviors. The more you tolerate, the more control they gain over you. The more you surrender, the more entitled they feel to treat you poorly. This is a vicious cycle. Hurt, apologize, forgive, repeat. Every time you forgive, you reinforce their belief that they can continue their behavior without consequences. You think you're giving them a chance to make things better, but in reality, you're just getting stuck in a cycle with no way out. If you realize that your forgiveness isn't changing the narcissist, it's time to change the way you deal with them. Recognize the manipulation. They don't apologize because they are truly remorseful. They apologize because they need to keep you under their control. Stop giving unconditional chances. Healthy relationships need clear boundaries. If someone keeps repeating behaviors that hurt you, you don't have to forgive them. Protect yourself. You're not obligated to endure mistreatment just because you have a kind heart. Compassion does not mean allowing others to take advantage of you. Remember that forgiveness does not mean you have to continue suffering. Sometimes, the only way to truly forgive someone is to walk away and never give them another chance to hurt you. You deserve a relationship where empathy is real, where forgiveness is not exploited, and where love is not about control. Why do narcissists desire these things? After exploring what narcissists crave, control, power, admiration, submission, emotions, and attention, we need to dive into an important question: why do they have such intense needs? What drives their obsession with manipulation, domination, and the constant need for external validation? The answer does not lie in the present, but stems from deep psychological wounds of the past. Invisible scars that have shaped who they are today. Narcissists are not born cold and ruthless. They were once children, longing for love, recognition, and a sense of safety. But for some reason, abandonment, abuse, or growing up in an environment where love was conditional, they never received unconditional acceptance. These experiences left invisible scars, making them carry a constant fear of not being good enough, not being worthy, and not having any value. Instead of facing this pain, they chose to bury it and construct a perfect facade, a persona that appears strong, confident, and superior. According to psychologist Otto Kernberg, narcissistic behavior is an attempt to compensate for deficiencies in self-esteem and self-worth. They become obsessed with power, not because they are truly strong, but because they fear feeling weak. They seek control, not because they are great leaders, but because they never want to be victims again. They crave admiration, not because they genuinely believe they are great, but because without it they feel empty. Narcissists cannot generate their own internal sense of worth. They need others to reflect their importance back to them because, without external validation, they have no idea who they are. According to psychologist W. Keith Campbell, a leading expert on narcissism, narcissists often have a history of abandonment or abuse in childhood. This makes them feel unworthy and compels them to seek external validation. They cannot trust their own self-worth, so they depend on admiration from others to reinforce their value. But the problem is, it is never enough. They need constant attention, because the moment the spotlight fades, the feeling of worthlessness returns. They control others, not just to feel powerful, but to ensure that they are never abandoned again. They manipulate emotions, not just to influence, but to trap others in their orbit. What they seek is not true love, but dependence, a relationship where they hold absolute power and always get what they want. Understanding the roots of narcissism allows us to see them in a different light, not as monsters, but as deeply wounded individuals. However, understanding does not mean enabling. You can acknowledge their pain, but you are not obligated to endure it. You can empathize with their past, but you are not responsible for healing them, especially when they have no real desire to change. Many people fall into the trap of believing they can heal a narcissist with love and compassion. But the truth is, someone who refuses to acknowledge their problems will never change, no matter how much you love them. To protect yourself, you need recognize that your validation cannot fill the void inside them. Set firm boundaries and refuse to let them control you. Remember that you deserve a healthy relationship, not a constant struggle to please someone else. Psychologists also point out that family and social environments play a crucial role in the development of narcissism. Children who are either overindulged or neglected, abused, or excessively compared to others are at risk of developing narcissistic traits. If a child is constantly overpraised, they may develop an inflated ego, believing they are more important than everyone else. If a child is criticized, ignored, or only loved for their achievements, they may learn to build a false self to hide their inner wounds. This shows that proper parenting and upbringing are key to preventing the development of narcissistic personalities. A balanced environment, filled with love yet also with discipline and responsibility, helps a child develop healthy self-esteem without the need for external validation. Narcissists are not inherently evil, but they carry wounds they cannot or will not confront. They seek to control others to fill their own void, but the truth is, nothing can ever truly fill it. You can understand them, but do not let empathy trap you in a toxic relationship. You cannot heal them, but you can protect yourself. Remember this: you are not responsible for fixing them. You do not have to sacrifice your happiness to make them feel whole. You deserve a life where you are loved genuinely, not manipulated. Understanding narcissists helps you deal with them more wisely, but more importantly, it helps you realize that you have the right to walk away, set boundaries, and reclaim control over your own life.